I think the drama is about a meaningfully complex black woman character in Zendaya's Emma, but I also think it's co-opting a black woman's identity to tell a story that serves and defends a white man's perspective. Let me explain. In my last video, I talked about how the drama humanizes people shaped by violent Western culture, but I also said it feels like it's only superficially exploring black womanhood through characters like Emma, and how it's really trying to reframe how we think about white men, such as the filmmaker and writer behind this movie. So I want to unpack that. Spoilers ahead. The specific thing that she's being used to explore is mass violence at a school, and that act is overwhelmingly tied to white men in this country, or at least predominantly white men. So when the movie puts a black woman at the center of that act, it allows the film to create a distance from that racial reality, and this is where the movie gets tricky, so stay with me here. I think what complicates this film is how all three of the white main characters operate within this similar self-preservation, unself-aware, final boss culture, but express it totally differently. With Rachel, she's openly hypocritical and even racially coded in her microaggressions toward Emma and her own partner. Misha represents this white privileged impulse to police and report people for even having violent thoughts. Charlie presents himself as this moral, reasonable center, basically the audience surrogate, while quietly revealing he's manufactured his entire relationship with Emma, ignoring the book that defined her inner life at the beginning of their relationship, or never looking into her deafness as this larger form of societal or self-induced harm. And then symbolically, he represents a former bully to Emma, and Emma's marrying her figurative bully. That gets me to my final point about the drama, which is to say, I like this movie. It has redeemable qualities. It looks incredible. The performances are amazing, and there's things that it's saying about the dangers of violence in Western culture that I think are really admirable. However, the way it uses Emma as a character is toxic. I do think that this director and writer are saying that maybe we're a little bit too harsh on people who are judged for crossing certain lines or boundaries or societal norms. But when you factor in that this filmmaker is currently in the news for his own admitted misconduct, you realize that the movie and the screenplay, this story about Emma, is not really about Emma, and it's not really about a complex black woman. It's about a white male perspective that feels wronged. And that's why it reads to me as an opportunistic story and a filmmaker who co-opted a black woman's experience to get his point across. Because Emma's identity, her race, her gender, her isolation from her childhood to her adulthood, it is tragic the way she has been treated in this story, but she is being used as a tool to make the defense of white victimhood seem more palatable. And it allows the film to say something seemingly thoughtful about a person of color while just disguising who that argument is actually trying to protect. So again, I think the drama is a good movie and doing something interesting with a couple complex characters, but I think it is worth asking with Emma in particular, who is Emma's complexity actually serving?